Good morning. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. It's 10 a.m. and I call this meeting of the Platte County Commission to order. Commissioner Burbick, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I move approval of the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 Motion carries 3-0. Next is the consent calendar.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 That motion carries 3-0. Next is business action items. First of which is 2026 RES 009. Be presented by Captain Gates. Good morning.
Good morning. Captain Gates, Platte County Sheriff's Office. Before you have Resolution 2026 RES 009. This is a request for approval of the Kansas City Regional Resource Sharing Agreement. This is a voluntary agreement to participate in a process of sharing resources outside of the county in the MARC region across both in Missouri and in Kansas. This will allow us to not only receive resources, including equipment and personnel, but also provide it in other areas where it might be needed. So for events such as a World Cup or critical incidents, we work together with the region, which we already do, to provide the ability to respond to and recover from these things. So this resource sharing agreement just reinforces, provides an additional safety net for areas that aren't necessarily covered by mutual aid agreements. But it provides us the ability to provide and get those resources as needed. So request approval of the resolution.
I move approval of 2026-RES-009, Platte County's participation in the Kansas City Regional Sharing Agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Captain, I have a question. So would this have anything to do with the $80 million in federal funds being allocated to the Kansas City region for security during World Cup?
So it's separate. The money itself has been provided through a group called KC 2026. And mainly most of that resources, and I'm not sure, my resources have indicated that it's not quite 80 million, it's more like 59 million. But I can get those exact numbers for you at another time if you wish. But most of that money was provided for personnel, for the simple fact that we're going to provide additional resources as a region to areas like the Chief Stadium, Fan Fest, the practice facilities where the teams will play, escorts for a number of things.
So how is this a zero budget impact item? Is there not potential revenue for these activities?
This doesn't specifically cover or is tied to that grant. This relates to beyond World Cup. Yes, it helps for us to share those things that we're already doing and discussing as a region to get ready for World Cup, but it also provides resources beyond that for tornadoes, earthquakes, etc.
Okay, it's kind of a little tangent, I guess, then. Sure. But explain to me how this $59 million, which is flowing through MARC to various regional public safety offices, how will that be reflected in contracts that come before the commission, et cetera?
So my understanding, and I have just a broad understanding of it because they haven't really fully laid out how to apply for the funds. But my understanding is that if we have personnel that for Platte County, whether it's the sheriff's office or other areas that end up working in an overtime capacity for World Cup related events, we then provide documentation back to MARC in 2026 for those costs, and those costs will be reimbursed. So I would imagine we most likely use FEMA documents to do that, the fiduciary side of those pieces. So
you say you're not sure about the application process. Does that mean you're not applying for some of those funds now, or you are?
No, those funds were already set before the region as a group apply for those funds through MARC, through the Regional Homeland Security Coordinating Committee and KC 2026.
Mhm.
And the group that's actually receiving the grant is KC 2026. And then you do a reimbursement request from your county to that group to get reimbursed for those costs.
And how much do you think that the sheriff's office could get from that source of revenue?
Gosh, I couldn't say at this time. We're still in, the planning stages of World Cup, unfortunately. We're 180 days out, but we've only confirmed what teams are coming and what cities they'll be based out of for practices. We don't know how much they're going to travel, how much, safety and security we need to provide when they're doing their practice. We might be able to, once they provide us with a schedule, provide you with a more exact number, but it won't be, I wouldn't say exact.
But you expect that the sheriff's office will be fully reimbursed for overtime costs associated with World Cup?
As it relates to
Okay,
World Cup activities.
thank you very much. We have a motion. Are there any further comments? We have a motion and a second. Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 That motion carries 3-0. Next is 2026 CO032.
Good morning, sir. Sergeant Campbell, Platte County Sheriff's
Morning.
Office. This is an order approving a contract between Platte County, Missouri and Missouri Department of Public Safety. It looks like this agreement is entered into to support participation in Operation Relentless Pursuit, and the funds will be distributed under the terms and conditions given in this agreement. It's solely to reimburse for actually incurred personnel expenses caused by participation in Operation Relentless Pursuit. We believe it to be in the best interest of the citizens of Platte County that the county enter into this agreement with the Missouri Department of Public Safety. It has been signed off by Sheriff Holland as well as Mark Jones, Mark James, the Missouri Department of Public Safety official. The budget impact is going to be $83,333.00.
I move to approve 2026-CO-032, an MOU between the Sheriff's Office and the Missouri Department of Public Safety.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 That motion carries 3-0.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
sir. Next is 2026 RES 012 to be presented by County Administrator Wes Mender. Morning, Wes.
Morning, Commissioners. Wes Bender. Before us is a resolution to advertise our annual bids. I will point out that we are going to use a new system called Ion Wave. It's used by other counties such as Johnson County, Kansas, Boone County, and Christian County. It's an online bidding system. The bid forms and other items have been streamlined. It's a very user-friendly, interactive thing. We'll be sending some notices out to people that have previously bid and then bid and will advertise in the newspapers. But the intent of this is to provide for better access to our bids so that we get more opportunities and more vendors to provide better prices to the county on things that we put out to bid.
I move approval of 2026-RES-012, the request for bids for annual supplies categories 1 through 5 and 24 through 26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Frygar?
Yes.
Commissioner Herbert?
Yes.
Commissioner Bieber?
Yes.
That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Wes. Next on the agenda, 2026 CO030, be presented by Planning and Zoning Director Daniel Erickson. Morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Daniel Erickson on behalf of the Planning and Zoning Department. Commission Order 30 is a request to rezone that was submitted by JBiz4 LLC. They are seeking to rezone 34.45 acres from agricultural to RE rural estates with the intended purpose of creating a 2-lot subdivision of one 10-acre lot and one 24-acre lot. The proposal does conform to the county's land use plan policies. The property is located at Highway P and Lamar Road intersection. This came before our Planning and Zoning Commission at their last hearing, and they unanimously recommended it to be approved. Staff recommended to the Planning Commission that it also be approved.
I move to approve 2026-CO-030 for rezoning for JBEZ LLC, JBEZ 4 LLC.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 The motion carries 3-0. Next is 2026-CO-031.
Commissioners, this is also a request to rezone. This is a request to rezone 6 acres from agricultural to R80, which stands for Rural Single Family. This is a request submitted by Marty and Deborah Richardson Family Trust. The purpose of this rezoning is to create a one-lot minor subdivision of 6 acres. That 6 acres contains an existing dwelling. The remainder of the property, 113 acres, will retain its ag zoning and be unplatted. It does conform to the land use plan. This property is located off of Highway E. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Staff recommended approval to the Planning Commission.
I move approval of 2026-CO-031 rezoning from AG to R80 for the Marty and Deborah Richardson Family Trust.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 That motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Daniel. Next on the agenda, 2026-CO-033 to be presented by Prosecuting Attorney Eric Zahn.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, I'm still here, Eric.
Yeah, Commissioner Fricker.
Are you surprised? Oh, I'm just
No,
checking.
I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but
Oh,
no. I'm not directly privy to any of that. As you know, I offered to talk with you and you refused that invitation.
you mean the day before we were going to pass the budget? What about the 3 months prior to the budget being approved? You never once talked to us about it.
Presiding Commissioner, I'm here just to talk about one thing.
Yeah, I was just saying good morning. Yeah, I'm here.
I'm happy to have that discussion anytime. If you want to have it now, we can. That's not really what I was.
You drop your demands, we'll have the discussion.
What's that?
Never mind. Go ahead, please, with your.
I'm not clear what we're talking about. Are
Okay.
you talking about demands related to item F or something else?
Please continue.
Okay, so Commissioner Fricker, Commissioner Burbridge, Commissioner Vanover, I'm so glad to be here for the 22nd consecutive year where Platte County has been awarded a VAWA grant, that's Violence Against Women Act grant, which is federal money that then flows to the state and is awarded on competitive grants. I will tell you that the county had that grant for a long time. In between the transition from my immediate predecessor to me, the assistant prosecutor who was responsible for filing for that grant failed to do so. That prosecutor was politely invited to pursue other opportunities in the professional world, and she did so. And we were fortunate to be successful the next year in obtaining that grant. So I think this is 22 years straight that we've gotten this grant. Now, it only pays for really a fairly small portion, I think less than 20% of this prosecutor's salary. And I'm very grateful to this commission for funding the other 80%. It shows a commitment to law enforcement that I'm grateful for. And so continue to be grateful to this commission. This money's already accounted for in the budget, but the grant hadn't been awarded until this. We were fairly confident we would receive it, and we have. And so I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have about it.
I move to approve 2026-CO-033, an MOU between Platte County Prosecutor's Office and the Department of Public Safety VAWA salary reimbursement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 That motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners, particularly Commissioner Fricker. I appreciate your support.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, 2026 RES 007, be presented by Darby Logan, Public Works Department. Morning, Darby.
Morning, Commissioners. Darby Logan with Public Works. (2026) Resolution 007 is an order approving the bid award for the 2026 road resurfacing project for asphalt. The county received 2 bids, which were opened at the February 23rd commission session. Superior Bowen was Superior Bone Asphalt was the lowest bidder, and we ask the commission for approval of the bid award to Superior Bone Asphalt Company.
I move approval of 2026-RES-007 bid award for 2026 road resurfacing asphalt project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 That motion carries 3-0. Next is 2026 RES 008.
This is an order approving the bid award for the 2026 road resurfacing project for Microseal. The county received one bid, which was opened February 23rd at the commission session, and Vance Brothers was the only bidder. We ask the commission for approval of the bid award to Vance Brothers.
I move,
I move to approve 2026-RES-008 bid award for the 2026 road resurfacing microservice project.
second.
We have a motion and a second on this item. Are there any comments? Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 And that motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Darby. Next on the agenda, announcements from county office holders and staff. Any public comments this morning? Any comments from the commission? Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll. Yes.
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 The motion carries 3-0. It is 10:17 a.m. and we are adjourned.